We are live. And there she go right on time. Look at her ass clapping backstage. Look at her.
Glad you can make it.
Shut up. You made it. And then got her to be talking shit to us like she wasn't the one that was late. I'll tell you. Anywho, we is live tonight, boo things, badasses, and bays. And I want to get into...
I'm finna be transparent for a minute.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
So, I was over in Virginia, and you sent that damn message, and I said, oh, shit, that's tonight. And I had to drop my son off. I was way over in Virginia.
Hey, sir.
I made it all the way to Southern Maryland for all y'all DMV folks. I was all the way over there by Mount Vernon.
Oh, Lord.
And I made it all the way over to Waldorf. You know, that's my new name for Waldorf.
Okay.
Waldorf. It's becoming a little bit more like Baltimore every week.
Yeah, you gotta say day.
Every day.
Well,
y'all on my double nickels this week.
Your who? Oh, you. Hey. Okay, so that means you're gonna be talking extra shit tonight. Is that what that is?
That is. Because you know what it is. After folks get to be like 50, their senses fall off. They no longer be PC. They just do you remember how your grandma used to talk and your aunt used to talk and be like, why are they so damn crazy and crass? Well, they realize they finna be out of here. What you about to do?
Hey, look, listen, I ain't never had no filter, but I definitely understand.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna just leave that there because I already know tonight gonna be extra lit. Because you done turned up and we ain't even got started yet. Come on, girl. Now back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. No, tonight's topic I feel like is I feel like it's a necessary topic. We're talking about fetishes about Black bodies, right? So yes. I'm gonna go ahead and give a disclaimer that we're all probably gonna say something that's gonna piss somebody off at some point during tonight's show. Because it's one of those topics that can either be real docile and chill, or it can get a little heated, based on how people feel and who knows what somebody's going to say. So whether you're going to catch us live tonight or whether you are in fact catching the replay at a later date,
right?
Clutch your pearls and be all right with it. That's all I'm going to say.
Because you sure finna clutch them, honey.
Oh, okay. Come on with it. Come on through. What you got, girl? Oh, she's combing the hair now. Wait a minute.
I got 2 kids. We already know.
Oh, what that mean?
Now. That's what I want to know. What it mean?
I'm trying to understand.
I know I was doing. Look, I've been doing something.
Hey.
You mean
I
what?
would say.
You mean what?
You can have sex twice and get 2 kids.
You can have sex once and have 2 kids. So
that's true too.
Let me just tell you something. 1, I was in the entertainment industry. 2, my 20 was lit, and I was in the Navy.
Shit. So you got some stories to tell, girl.
I ain't puffy, but I know what they require on that other side of that.
You was getting down for the get down, huh?
No. See, that's why I'm not a household name, but let's just say not.
Wait a minute.
Not all households. Let's just say that part. Okay.
But now, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, be a hoe in your 20s. Be a hoe in your 20s. Just be a hoe in your
20s.
Explore in your 20s, because the thing is that you don't know what you don't want until you came across it. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If I had the good sense God gave me, I'd have left Tony in my 20s like I did and left him there like for real to stay. But no, we was back and forth till our 40s, and then fucked around, got married, and then realized that shit was not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing is that y'all can have great chemistry and everything. Great chemistry does not make a great life partner.
That is the truth.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, y'all can have great chemistry, but leave them where you find them. If you find them and y'all decided that y'all was gonna be friends with benefits, don't try to damn graduate that motherfucker. Let him stay friends with benefits. Don't graduate him.
Great chemistry ain't even always chemistry. Sometimes what we feel is great chemistry is a fight or flight response in our bodies. Well, before we even get to the lust, let's talk about the fight or flight response, right? We mistake butterflies for our body, literally saying, "Run, fucking Forrest, run."
That's true.
No, bitch, that's your nervous system. But yes, also lust, because maybe you ain't had any in a while. Maybe you had some strange, as they like to call it, but it just wasn't good. You know, different strokes for different folks. But building relationships on lust and chemistry.
So let me say this then, because let's say you met somebody and your first conversation was a great conversation and sex never came up. Your second conversation was a great conversation and sex never came up. You know what I'm saying? But then when you around this person in person, you're nervous. Is that your fight or flight? Like, should you leave, or should you explore what's there?
I think it depends on where you are in your life and who that person is. Now, the reason I say that is because I've had people that made me nervous, and it was a fight or flight response because I was so uncomfortable being seen by that person, being emotionally and mentally seen. Y'all get what you've had that one or two people that you've come across, and they just saw so intimately into your soul, your spirit, the connection. You feel me? The conversations. That shit just made me want to jump out my skin. Like, I don't like this. I'm used to being in control. You know what I'm saying?
So then you begin to distance yourself from them because you're like, hold on now, I need to make sure that I'm protected. And you know what that is? That protection is usually because of trauma. Because it's trauma. It's trauma from past situationships. I don't even call them relationships when they leave you traumatized and shit. When they leave you like that, those are situationships.
Well, so also I was kind of going there, but let me throw this in here as well. The reason that made me so uncomfortable. So one of the, I don't want to say complaints, but it might be a complaint. I'm not going to take it that way.
Let me see if I can tell. Go ahead.
You keep trying to come for me, Sean.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
So one of the things that I really had to navigate in order to heal in relationships is being told that I was distant, right? So the couple of times that a person in the very beginning could just see all the way through me and call me on my bullshit, we ain't like that. Like, me and these personalities, we ain't here for this shit. Fuck is you talking about? So my automatic response would be like, oh, we're not doing this. Because I couldn't even imagine at that moment if we are already here with just the initial conversation, and you're emotionally astute enough, you're spiritually connected enough, you're vibing with me and I'm vibing with you enough, and we ain't even having sex. We're just trying, like, I don't even want to get to the point where I'm that vulnerable with you and you see that was
because you know what's been happening, right? If you already flipped out like that, you get that good ding ding and it all over your ass. Like, what you said you needed.
Right, I was not the person that ever wanted to be that, because I didn't seen it. You feel me? I seen it, and I'm like, we ain't signing up for that. So sometimes we can mistake chemistry, and it can be a mistake because our fight or flight is kicking in, and it really can be chemistry, but it's also fight or flight because your nervous system is so unsettled for different reasons with this person. Sometimes it's fight or flight because your nervous system is saying warning, 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 danger, danger, something's off. And your consciousness may not be able to label it and put a word on it, but your spirit is picking it up that something just ain't. They might be a serial killer, they might be an abuser, you just might not be. It might be their pH, it might be their scent, it could be anything that throws you off, and you're recognizing, I don't like this person, there's something off, there's something wrong. No,
there's that. But wait a minute, sis. There's that, but then there's that other thing. The chemistry is so on point, and they get you so much that you're like, I'm gonna be too vulnerable with them, and I am going to get hurt.
Oh, very true.
And so you tend to back off, and so a lot of times it may come off as aloofness or whatever, and it's a protection mechanism because
but see, this is the thing. So as a man, it's kind of off-putting, and I get what y'all saying.
Y'all, it's okay.
But it's off-putting because it's like, you got to understand, I'm opening up to you as much as you're opening up to me. So we in the same boat.
You only saying that because you need your ding ding wet. That's all. And there's a lot of times that
not everybody's doing that.
No, and see, so that's my thing, because a man that's on that kind of time, he on that kind of time. He not sitting here having a conversation with you.
Right. I agree with that.
Talking about, yo, what's up? What's going on? Let's do this.
Well, let's just say, for the sake of argument, he is, but we know that it's not practical.
Hey, Ken, what's up, Dick?
Hey, Ken.
And he don't care what's going on. Ken, what's up, my man? But he don't care, because if he casts his line enough, he gonna get something. He gonna catch something.
So maybe because it's not practical, the object of his affection, let's call it that, distances themselves because, again, they don't want to get hurt. It's not practical. Let's just say you live in another state. She live in another state, or she live in another state, or
but you proving my point. You are proving my point, because what I'm trying to get you to understand is that a real man, you can look like that, but you prove my point. A real man is not going to be on that kind of time. So he's trying to actually get to know you for who you fucking really are.
Right.
Because he's trying to expose himself to you, and he wants to know you.
See, I'm agreeing with Sean on this one, Gypsy.
I mean, all that other shit is going to come later.
I get what you're saying, that it's some fuck boys just like it's some fuck girls out there. But I got to agree with Sean on this one. I think where I'm coming from with this, if you're meeting somebody who has the emotional astuteness to be able to see you and to communicate that to you so that you're picking it up and y'all vibing like that, that type of dude, from what I've seen, is typically the dude gonna be like, I just want some pussy. What's up? Okay. Or I just want a friend, or I just want to kick it. They're not gonna sit here and run games. They ain't gotta run games like that, because they already got enough being thrown at them that they don't have to put forth extra effort to go work hard for it somewhere else where somebody ain't trying to give it. The dude that's playing games like that, because he ain't getting it like that. Right? Or if he is getting like that, he's not getting what he wants, so he's trying to get something different. So I agree with Sean on that one. But that also being said, the reason I feel like this is relevant to the fetish conversation is because we tend to think of Black bodies being fetishized just by white people, and there are plenty of us that are out here fetishizing Black bodies. You know what I'm saying? And certain attributes of Black bodies, or
big titties, big ass. I'm just saying, big lips. Oh,
which one?
Who said that?
That being said, like, I feel like this is a necessary conversation because, you know, a lot of the times we are afraid to really dive into why are we choosing some of the sexual partners that we've chosen? Why are we choosing some of the relationships that we've chosen? Sean, jump in. What you got?
Nah, I'm just saying because I actually had a conversation with one of my boys today about that simple thing, like, you know, the Black body and how beautiful it is, like, especially a Black woman. Like, it's no way in the world, like, don't get me wrong, okay, there are some attractive non-Black women out there, of course, but that's not my
in the face, but not in the waist. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, shit, what's her name? The shorty that played Black Widow? She can get it. Scarlett Johansson. She can get it all day long. She can get it all day long. Cause she can't
get a goddamn thing.
She got a nice, man, look, cause she got a little bit of hips, man. Look, she can get it all day long. But just you know,
until pause. Let me ask you a question, Sean. Let me ask you a question. So what was said to me recently by a friend was, we may play in the snow, but we don't stay in the snow. I said, well, that ain't true.
Yeah, because you get frostbite.
He was like, not all of us, but majority of us, if you look at us, we might play, but we ain't gonna stay. Like, we're always gonna come back. We might venture out and explore and have fun, but there's just something that draws us back to Black women. So I'm curious as to your take on that.
Okay, wait. Can I ask you a question too? Wait. I want to compound that question because I heard that men like to play in the snow because we wouldn't, slob it out back in the day. I'm just saying, because we was told don't put nothing in your mouth you can't swallow. I'm just saying, back in the day.
I just go ahead, Sean.
So all right. So anyway, like so it depends on the man himself. You know what I'm saying? Some men find that's what they like, and I don't knock them for it. I don't have a problem. I know a lot of people have a problem. I don't have a problem. Look, what you love is what you love. I don't have no problem with the sisters that like white boys. Look, that's you. Do you?
I say as long as you're not just using a person.
I can't get down like that because
that's you.
Like, I
that is you.
Like that because I know the minute that I piss you off, which I'm gonna piss you off because the way my mouth set up, I'm gonna piss you off. And if you're a white boy, I know you gonna call me a nigga, and I'm gonna go to jail.
Gypsy, have you ever thought about you being so pessimistic?
I'm going to jail. Listen, let me tell you something, Jazz. I'm going to be double nickels this week.
I'm trying to answer a question. Can I answer the question?
Because I'm going to be double nickels this week. I'm trying to tell you, Jazz, I done seen a lot, and I'm just going to tell you. In the back of their mind, even though they may not say it openly the first time, but if you get them mad enough, they finna call you the nip, and you gonna cut that motherfucker.
And I feel you because for you it'd be different, but for some dudes, they like it when she be like, give me that nigga dick, and he like, you want this nigga? You know what I'm saying? So hey, it is what it is. That's their thing, whatever.
Also, you like that shit? You like when she call you
Gypsy?
Hey.
Listen,
I just said how I love my sisters. Like I said, I just said how I love my black women. I never said. I'm just saying there's some dudes that like that shit.
But you also said Scarlett can get it any day of the week.
Hey, hold on.
You ever been with a snow bunny?
Hold on, wait. First of all, you gotta understand, just because I said she can get it don't mean I'm actually trying to give it to her.
You ever been with a snow bunny?
Second of all, I'm trying to answer the question.
That question that's on the table.
God damn! I know she was like, God, like what the hell? Like shit. Well, first off, if you had let me finish speaking, what I was saying was
came out of her, Sean.
What I know. What I was saying was I was trying to answer the question, but because you asked that question, yes, I was back in college. You know, it was about 2 or 3 of them.
She ever called you nigga? She ever told you give her nigga?
Hey, girl, calm. Stop being so antagonistic. Cher said Channing Tatum is her man crush Monday, and Brittany said, "Hey, y'all, what's up, girl?"
Hey, Britt.
But nah, she ain't never said that because trust me, she said that it'd have been some problem. I'm just saying it's some guys that like that shit. I don't knock them. Fuck it. Do you whatever makes you happy. But no, I love my black women. But what I was trying to get back to the beginning. Thank you, Gypsy. But anyway, I had a conversation with one of my boys today, and we were just talking about the different black women and how like even if because black is so beautiful, it could be a woman that's way outside my weight class. Like I got a weight limit to this ride. You know what I'm saying? But
wait a minute.
But if she's sexy, if she's sexy enough, she can still get it.
What's the weight limit?
Got a weight limit to the ride?
Hell yeah! I don't need no 300-pound. No, this ride ain't built for that. But if she's sexy enough,
she might get it.
She can definitely get it if she's sexy enough. Because if she carry herself in the right way and she's like, shit, okay, I understand you got that. But yeah, you can get it. Because I
let me tell you something. While we talking about black fetishes,
take yourself, Gypsies. We need to hear everybody's content. Thank you, sir.
I'm trying to tell you something. Let me, Don. While you talking about weight limit, it's a lot of, especially stars.
Uh-huh.
We ain't even gonna get on how Usher had gave that big BBW. He gave her ass VD. But anyway, and everybody was like, "There's no way." Hold on. It was like, "There's no way he was fucking with her." Use a goddamn lie. The thing is, there's a lot. Hold on now. There's a lot of black men that have a big body women fetish, and they don't acknowledge it in public.
Well, that's not.
Most of the time, the BBWs that they're looking at are sisters, right? And they don't acknowledge it in public. That shit is fucking wild to me.
Yeah, that part is not fun. I mean, hey, if that's what you into, that's what you like, do you?
I mean, me personally, I don't think that you should be saying one thing in public and doing something else in private. If you like it, if you don't, you don't. But I also advocate for people being able to keep their motherfucking business to themselves. Like if he like big girls and he just have to what?
But see, that's the thing is people think that stars should be with people who look star equivalent. Okay, feel me? And so, let me tell you something. They actually perpetrated that same little fraudulent kind of narrative on the game. Do y'all remember that?
When Melinda why it's like that though? Because we are buying the bullshit. We are the ones co-signing it and saying it's okay. They can't give an audience what an audience is not buying. So at the end of the day, if we want to see thick women, fat women, big booty ass women, if we want to see stick figures and whatever else in between, then that's what we have to be able to represent for ourselves. Again, I believe that our dollars make a difference. So I can't get mad at Usher or anybody else if they feel like they got to perpetrate this image based on what the audience is buying, because that's what the audience is eating up. At the same time, that's his business. Don't really, I've never been one to care who celebrities are sleeping with. I talk a little bit of shit here on the podcast just because, you know, it's on social media. Let's talk about it. But I'm one of them ones that's finna dig too deep into it. That being said, I gotta co-sign with Sean on this one. I mean, Sean, I've never seen you in person, so I don't know what your stature is and how much you weigh, but I do think that has to be taken into consideration for a man to consider how much of a woman can he handle weight size, because you pick her ass up and drop her, it's gonna be hell to pay. You feel? So you gotta consider, what's the weight limit for this ride? What do I know I can handle where she can be safe and I can be safe? Like, bottom line, that may not have anything, because he just said a 300-pound girl can get it if she got it, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just like me, I have a weight preference. I don't.
Hold on, wait. God damn it! I keep trying to talk, and y'all just keep talking. I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to be that guy, but damn it, I never finished my goddamn statement.
Okay, you right.
My bad, but I didn't come at you like that, Sean. What I do?
I'm sorry you had to catch that. You just was the one talking at that moment when I'm
straight bullets. Go ahead.
But anyway, like I was trying to say, so it actually it is speaking to what you were saying, Jay, because that was what our conversation, you know, ultimately went to, was the quote unquote societal norms that put this bullshit ass pressure on women to be a certain way. Because we talked about like who our hall passes would be, and it's like, you know, like back in the day, like Independence Day, Vivica Fox. Oh yeah, I'd have been like, that's my hall pass. But today, when you look at her, like all the work she done and she's all fucked up, it's like, yo, come on now. Why would you do that? Like you didn't have to mess with that. And you did it. Like, you know, why would you do it?
Now I don't like women, but I do know that Lil' Kim was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, that's another one. Oh my God.
She had a self-image issue. And who the fuck is that when you look at her now? You're like, who the fuck is that? And who said that shit was attractive?
And the crazy thing is, I'm trying to figure out where she got this low self-esteem from. I mean, she was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know her, never met her, don't know none of the ins and outs. So I was never sure, did it come from her wanting Biggie and him seeming to not want her? Was it other men that she was around that was saying certain things to her? Like, was it stuff that she heard growing up? Honestly, you just never know. You never know where it starts and where it gets compounded, because they hear it from
so many people. A lot of stars have low self-esteem. Like, seriously, they really do.
We all do. It ain't no different.
But a lot of stars have a low self-esteem. And did you know that that's when I developed the motto, if you live for the light, what happens when the light dims? Have you noticed that a lot of them fall the fuck apart? Most of them commit suicide or just go to drugs or whatever when their star fades. Because think about it. Most people that are quote unquote, hold on now, most people that are quote unquote household name stars are household name stars as long as they look younger than 30. And once they start looking their age and stuff, they stop becoming household name stars, right? They start playing grandma and grandpa in the movies, and they start playing. No, but I'm serious though. I'm serious, and I'm gonna tell you something. If you go look up how many stars actually commit suicide and stuff like that, usually they commit suicide when they're deemed no longer marketable.
Pull up the statistics. Let me catch up on these comments real quick and respond to what you said. While we doing that, Gypsy, why don't you pull up the statistics? Because I don't know if I can agree with they start doing drugs and alcohol when they are no longer a star or when they're not getting, you know, the celebrity. It seems like a lot of them develop it as a coping mechanism for being in that that oh, I'm sorry, being in that space. Nadina said, Black men who only date based on race is steeped in self-hate and stereotypes. I've had sex with, dated all types, but Black men are the ones I feel value all of me. What up, Alicia? Hey, your boy said. And then Sure said, low self-esteem comes from home. I don't know if I can fully agree with that either. It may come in part from home, but a lot of the times it also comes in the community. It comes from church. It comes from school. And home just may not have enough of a safe space to counteract those things, or maybe participating with those things and beating a person down. But it don't always start just at home. Environment, yes. But I don't know. I don't know the stats on celebrities that end up committing suicide or end up having drug or alcohol addiction. But I don't think it's only when they are no longer getting the spotlight. It seems like a lot of them develop it very young or while they're still active in their careers. So my guess from the outside is that a lot of it is coping. When they don't have coping skills and they don't have healthy boundaries and healthy situations around them, that maybe they turn to it to cope, or maybe they turn to it to be able to do the things that they got to do, to have the long days and the long nights and party hardy with everybody else.
I like what Sher said. Low self-esteem comes from home. You're absolutely right, Sher, because that's the thing about it, is that people like licks. This is what I always say about the difference between physical and mental abuse. Licks heal. Like, your bruises are going to heal. But the mental abuse is going to replay in your mind over and over again, long after it stops, right? And yes, and when she followed up and said, and ageism is a huge thing. You're right. When you start looking old, you know, one of the things that you got to look at is not only are people into certain fetishes as far as like body shape and stuff like that, which actually the body shapes and stuff that they're actually coveting are African American body shapes. They actually are into youth. And have you not noticed that a lot of them now are getting caught for pedophilia and things like that? Because a lot of them they're into young looking or young acting. Think about it. Even back in the day, actors were hired that had a youthful appearance so they could play like high school students and stuff like that. And they were 30 something. You see what I'm saying? They like that youthful appearance. Youth is coveted.
But that's
age. That's
that's a certain segment of people pushing a certain agenda.
So again, I ain't never been in Hollywood. I'm not a celebrity. I don't know that lifestyle. Don't know that I ever feel like I need to. But from the outside looking in, with the little bit that I have seen over the years, like I said, I don't know the stats on celebrities committing suicide. I don't know the stats on celebrities and alcohol and drug addiction. But from what I have seen, a lot of it seems to have started well before they ever leave their career or before their career stalls. A lot of them seem to start the addiction as a way to cope with their career when they're in the highlight of their career. Again, maybe long shooting days, maybe they had an injury and they got hooked on something to keep pushing past that injury to finish a shoot. Maybe they were attending parties or in other environments where other people were doing it and somebody else got them introduced to it and got them hooked on it. So it had nothing to do with them, aging out or any of those things. And then it just was something they kept getting stuck in as all the other parts of life happened. I don't know. That's way outside my scope of expertise. I just don't want to pigeonhole it there and make it seem like we're just, you get what I'm saying? We're saying that because I think it's so much more nuanced than that. And they're not doing anything that we as everyday people are not doing. They just have the unfortunate business of being in the spotlight when they get caught doing it, whereas Joe Schmo down the street didn't get caught or got caught and nobody saw his mugshot 30,000 times. You know what I'm saying? Like my friend said to me when she moved into her house some years ago, a old house that she was in, she did a search on pedophiles in the area and was shocked to see all the things popping up on the map of her neighborhood. And I said, yeah. And she said, I thought they had to notify you. I said, well, if they were there before you, you're not going to get a notification. It's your job to do your due diligence, right? The reason I'm bringing that up now, if they're new coming in, yes, you're going to get a postcard in the mail. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because they're no different than Joe Schmo in Hollywood, except he's on camera and this one ain't. It's no difference than Joe Schmo in Hollywood being a hoe in neighborhood dick, and this one down the street from you doing the same thing, or her being neighborhood coochie. They just on camera and this person ain't. Like, it's everybody's doing something in their life. Some people just get more flack and more clout for it, and some people don't. Kim K went famous, and look at her family became a $1 billion empire on top of what her dad, Robert Kardashian, had already, created because of a sex tape and some coochie. Like, sex sells.
And it was a whack ass sex tape. I swear to God. Like,
yeah,
that shit was whack as fuck.
She gave out lazy head and shit. And people pay for that lazy ass.
She was lazy throughout the whole damn thing. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, this, he ain't doing nothing. She just laying there.
Right.
What the fuck is that?
Like, I just don't understand. And see, while we're talking about fetishes, black fetishes, she had a flat ass to a black ass because she went and got BBL.
Yes, we all know this. Look like all of them got it.
So that's the whole thing, is they want to have the light skin but have the features of the black women. What the fuck is that? Running out getting titties when they know they was an A cup, and then they run around and they got a D cup or double D in some cases.
They want our culture without our struggle. So, but that's a hard conversation sometimes. I ain't gonna say hard, but that's a challenging conversation sometimes as well, because I can't say that I blame the men that keep dating them and choosing them, but at the same time, I kind of do. Like, y'all are the ones that hype this bullshit up to make them keep going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes what I have seen is the same man that will hype them up and be like, oh my God, they're so beautiful, will see that on a black woman and be like, she just doing too much.
But you know what? Let me tell you the biggest fucking insult I've ever heard. You cute for a dark-skinned girl.
My friend said, I have a friend that says she used to hear that when she was plus size. She's lost a good bit of weight. And she says that she used to hear that when she was bigger, like, you good, you cute, or you pretty for a plus size girl.
Right.
And I've never understood that.
I don't understand that either, because either she cute or she not. It don't matter what she is.
Like, what does light or dark skin have to do with it? I don't get that.
But see, that's the thing. It's about the.
That would be like me telling a dude you cute for a tall dude or a short dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And you know what? Guys don't get that enough. That's probably why. Because I don't understand that, because if you cute, you cute.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
But that's the thing, is that is so demeaning and degrading for people to say that, but they do. And they listen, let me tell you something. I have 2 college degrees. That to me is equivalent to saying, you speak so well. 2 college degrees. I bet motherfuckers speak well.
I don't know what just happened.
Yes,
why you all in the camera, Gypsy? What the?
I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying. And the next thing I see is your face in the camera, girl. Calm down.
No, I'm just saying, Jay, you missed this. I said that's like somebody telling me you speak so well. I got 2 fucking college degrees, bitch. I better speak so well.
Now that is something I've heard my entire life.
Right, but see,
well for a black girl.
Exactly. But see, that's the thing, is when people say, and like they give you a backhanded fucking compliment. That's what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
So when you say, "Oh, you attractive for a dark skinned girl," because I don't really like dark skinned girls, them bitches is ugly. Basically, is what they trying to say.
Now, what's funny, because I'm caramel complected. That's what I call myself. I'm caramel, right? And so I get it from both sides. I am either too dark to be light skinned, but I'm not dark enough to be truly black. And I get guys all the time that be like, I don't date light skinned women, but you gorgeous. I'll date you. If you don't get the hell out of my face, what?
I mean, so it's levels to this shit. You got light, bright, high yellow,
Wait a minute.
light skin. You know,
That's some bullshit, though.
then you get
Bruh,
into the
that's
brown.
some bullshit.
Then you get into the brown skin, dark brown skin.
Again,
Dark
that's
skin,
another fetish, though. That's
dark
another
skin.
That's all it
fetish.
is. We
But I
satisfy
mean,
ourselves
so
just like everybody else does.
so
But that's another
me personally, I love women. You know what I'm saying? So your shade don't really matter. What matters when it come down to it. But your shade don't matter. I just love women. We could vibe. I don't give a fuck. You can be blurple. I don't care.
I think we can have preference. I love a good chocolatey man. Now I've dated
And
across the rainbow of black, but I love a good chocolatey man. It's just something about that skin.
and I don't have no problem if you have, because everybody got a preference.
Yeah. But I think there's a difference when we'll say, I won't date a light skinned person, or I won't
Exactly.
date a darker complected person. Like, that's a little weird to me. Because if you like them, you like them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it is, I think loving a complexion is just the same as preferring a tall person, because it just does something to you when you can stand next to them in heels as a woman, or you can pick her up. And well, I had this guy friend of mine years ago say that he felt like most tall guys, and he was a tall guy, 6+, but he said that he felt like most tall guys love to date short women because they could fold them up easy. And I was like, dude, that is such a dick comment. And he was like, but it's true. I was like, okay, whatever. But
yeah, you be
so
8 feet tall. I'm still gonna fold your ass up. Shit.
So I feel like even with that was a fetish. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have fetishes to some extent. It's just how do we operate with it? How do we use it to either shun people or just express ourselves freely, to enjoy sex, or to be, sexual or intimate with people, to be prejudiced against people? Ronnie Ann said, "Hey, Niecy."
Hey, Ronnie. Okay, so me and Ronnie served together in the Navy. That's my girl.
Thank you for your service, Ronnie.
And listen, y'all stop thanking us on fucking Memorial Day. We still here.
I thank you every single day. First of fucking all.
No, the thing is that we actually have colleagues and
I understand
veteran service members that are no longer with us. And they had the ultimate sacrifice, which Memorial Day honors, which is death, right? And when people thank us for our service on Memorial Day, I just want to punch them in the throat, because that is not what Memorial Day is.
First of all, I don't even celebrate Memorial Day. Let me put that out there.
Because y'all. So
I'm not gonna go toe to toe.
Hold on.
No, I'm not trying. No. I just want y'all to hear this. The true spirit of Memorial Day is Remembrance Day, which was started by Black people because it was this revolutionary. The South, they had this internment camp at a racetrack, and they killed a lot of Black soldiers. And once the war was over, the Black people went and retrieved the remains and buried them properly and gave them headstones, and it was Remembrance Day. Somehow, some way, the other man went and took it over and made it Memorial Day.
So I don't have. So that's not even where I was going with that. Let me tell you why I don't celebrate, and that's why I said it's not a girl fight or a cat fight. Why I don't celebrate is, number one, my dad was a veteran.
Okay.
And his service fucked him up and cost me my dad. He was alive, right? But I did not have him as a healthy, present father because of how fucked up he was because of war. So the reason that I honor every person that I meet that has had some service time is because I know what it costs me as his child. I know the heartache that I felt not being able to have him as a healthy person in my life. Y'all get what I'm saying? So that's why I honor the sacrifice that every veteran or active military person has given, because it's not just about you. It is about every person that stood behind you and your family and in your community that made it possible for you to serve, whether it was somebody taking care of your kids, whether it was somebody picking you up and helping you get back on when you came back home, whatever that looked like. You get what I'm saying? That's why I honor that sacrifice.
So
let me finish, and then I'll kick it to you. Number two, my longest relationship was with, I've dated mostly veterans, not by intention. That's just for whatever reason, it worked out that way. But my longest relationship was also with a veteran who served in two branches of service. And I know the heartache that I've had to navigate while I was in that experience with him, being a safe space and a support for him, and also what it cost me being in that space with him. So that's why I don't care what day, 365, 366 days of the year, I still say thank you for your service, because I honor you and now, if you don't like it and you tell me you don't like it, I'm going to stop saying it to you. He is one of those people that fucking hate it when people said it to him. But I know more people that they take it in and it heals something into them, which is why I always say that.
I'm going to tell you why I hate it.
Please.
Because I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Ronnie served with somebody who, he came back from service and his demons cost him his life.
Yeah.
You know, he was, so you ever heard of 22 a day?
Yes.
So for those who haven't heard, 22 a day is how many veterans commit suicide every day. And we served with Manny, Ronnie and I. We served with Manny. Manny went from the engine room to the helm. So Manny served enlisted, and he was also an officer. And he became a captain of a ship. And when he was retired, remember now, we told you that he served from enlisted to an officer. When he came in, he was 18. The military is all he knew.
Yeah.
And when he didn't make captain, he was told to retire. He did. But he struggled those 2 years post-military. He struggled so bad. And man, he killed himself. And so those are the demons that are unseen, right? And those are the casualties that are unseen. Like when you're at war, they see you're a casualty. But what about those casualties when you come home and all your adult life, all you identified with was your job?
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm concerned about also the federal workers who all their adult life, all they were federal workers, right? And then you have the higher ups vilifying you to the masses, right? And then you're unceremoniously dumped out of your job. For some people, you know how they found out that they no longer worked for their agency? They went and scanned their badge and it didn't work. Or they were told at the end of the day that they didn't work there anymore, right? We've lost 40 people since February in the federal workforce to suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And this is personal to me because, again, those are other types of fetishes. When you no longer meet their fetish criteria,
Mm.
then you lose your identity. And when you lose your identity, a lot of times that's what drives people to suicide and other things like that, right? And so people don't understand what their fetishes, nuances, things like that do to other people, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For example, when you have black men who only like black women with big booties and this, that, and the other, and stuff like that. And let's just say she doesn't have that. And she runs out and gets a BBL. And then she dies after her BBL because it's a
Yeah.
botched BBL. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have people out here running out to meet these unrealistic criteria that are out here.
So let me catch up on the comments to give, if I can give you a break to decompress.
Yeah.
And then I want to respond to that. Okay. Ronnie said, that's not true. We're not, wait, let me back up some more.
Right.
Okay. Ronnie said, that's true about tall guys. Tallest guy I dated was 6'6". I've always dated guys 6 feet and over. That's true. We're not dead yet.
Right.
Veterans Day is November 11th. Nadina said, but so many folks don't know the real meaning between preferences and limitations. That is very true as well, Nadina.
Yeah.
Ronnie said, I had to educate my coworkers on the difference between memorial and veterans.
Yeah.
Yes, right, Ron. We have to educate people. Ronnie said, us alive veterans appreciate acknowledgement on Veterans Day, and we appreciate the acknowledgement of the fallen veterans on Memorial Day. I'll respond to that in a minute. Ronnie said, so true about Manny. We served with him even in Gulf of Mexico during wartime. He had great accomplishments. He had
had
known
trouble
nothing.
adjusting to civilian life. And that's the thing. He was 18 when he came in the military. The military is all he knew. When he didn't make captain, they said, okay, well, get out.
So let me catch up on the comments and then I'll say this. Ronnie said, I worked with him from E1 in the engine room to being captain of a ship. We saw him grow, even though we got out with the military was his life. Thank you all for this show. We appreciate you being here, Ronnie. Sorry for all the comments. Keep them coming, honey. Keep them coming. We love them. Gypsy said, I can relate, girl. Let it out. We here for you. Yes. So let me say this. Gypsy, you know I love you. And we gonna be down like four fat tires always, no matter how much we disagree or argue, and we all be at each other on camera and then be like, I love you, girl. What you doing? Behind the scenes will be done. So but the reason I love these conversations is because we also have to we have to hold space and context for different parts of the experience, right? So it's never about comparing pain and seeing whose pain is worse.
Right.
But I think one of the things that we really try to do in this space is expose the different contexts and the different vantage points so that we can talk through it all. So the reason I said I don't even celebrate Memorial Day, like I said, I really don't celebrate most of the major holidays. It doesn't have anything to do with dishonoring or not honoring veterans. I just don't even celebrate most of the major holidays. I work today, not because I had to, but just because that's where my mind was. Let me get some things done, right? But like I said, coming from the alternate vantage point of being the daughter of a veteran, I hated the experience. I really did. I didn't get any of the benefit of my dad having been a veteran, not one. I didn't get access to his bill to pay for my college tuition because of the bullshit with his family. I didn't get access to any of the benefits that I could have had he been healthier in my life, right? Now, he was always present. He was like a shadow that never went away. I could not go home, where I was from in my community, in my neighborhood, without people telling him that I was there. Even when I didn't want to see him, they would call him and tell him I was there, and he would come and show up and be there and be in my face, right? Even if I didn't want to spend time with him and his family, it would turn into a physical altercation between him and my mother if I didn't want to go. And so a lot of times I had to go just to appease him and keep the peace between them. But we don't talk about those things that children of veterans go through when they get out of the military and they are hurt and they're broken and they're wounded and they don't have healthy coping skills, right? I went no contact with my dad because he was abusive, very abusive. And that's hard to reconcile because I have the memories of him making me laugh and protecting me and being that dude so nobody else bothered me. But he was the one that was dangerous to me. We don't talk about that, right? And so the reason I honor veterans is because there is also duality in life. And so as much as I had pain from that experience with him, I could also recognize that he was and this took me a long time to get to. That was not something I understood in those moments. But as I did my own healing work, I could recognize that he was hurting and his coping skills was drugs and alcohol, right? And so I got the him that was the product of the drugs and the alcohol that was likely a product of his military service. I got the him that had all the health issues. I sat with him on his deathbed to have a reconciliation, literally 24 hours before he died. And that was healing, but it doesn't make up for all the time that I didn't have with him. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's why I say thank you for your service, because I know that that person that was in that military, not all, I met plenty of people that loved every minute of their military service. They really did. Right. That's a thing for some people. So not everybody is truly traumatized by their military service, right? But you have a lot of people that are. You have a lot of people that
some of us are traumatized and you'll never see it because,
and that's true too.
The other thing that people don't understand is that the military teaches you to punch down your pain.
Like, I understand that, but if I could finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because I do have some friends that we've had some true heart to hearts. Right. So that's why I said I can't speak for everybody. I don't want to blanket. I just want to offer perspective is all I'm saying. Okay. So you have someone like me that will say, I will honor because I've met the people that have, and I'll be like, but you can say anything. They be like, no, I'm for real. Like I partied, I had a good time. And I'm like, okay. And the deeper we dig into it, like they really did, right? So I hold space for that. I also hold space for the 25-year-old me that met the 21-year-old military sniper that was suicidal. And I sat on his floor with him many nights because he couldn't sleep. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. We were in it together trying to figure it out because we met in school. So I hold space for that person that had that experience. Like, I don't know what that feels like to retire at 21 because you've been a sniper and you've discharged out medically. but I held space for that. And there's a part of me that changed forever, having to hold space for that. You know what I'm saying? So I honor all the spouses out there, all the besties out there, all the family members out there that have held space for those people. I honor you. You one of the people I love the most, you know. But I still just say, I this is something I used to have to tell my ex all the time. Your experience has shifted you, but it also shifted every single person around you. So all I would ask you and Ronnie to consider in love is that you all weren't the only ones that went through your experience. It changed every single person around you for the good or the bad. Those that loved you, those that prayed for you, those that stay with you now, you know. And so when I say thank you, it's to honor every single one of you, because you have unknowingly, and I say this in love, y'all don't shoot me. Don't. You have unknowingly changed forever the people that have been the closest in the moments with you. And certain parts of them had to die in order to have capacity to hold you in your pain and in your trauma and in your struggle. It is not the same. I am not comparing it. Right. I'm just offering context, because oftentimes those people go unrecognized. And I've known many of them to take their life, and many of them to turn to addiction, because they had nobody to talk to about how your pain affected them. And if I didn't have the coping skills that I have because of the career that I've had, having been with my ex for so long, probably could have took me out because of all the shit that he had. So all I'm saying is that it's not just about you. And I know that probably sounds really arrogant to say, and it's not meant that way.
I know it's not. The thing that a lot of people don't understand is a lot of times veterans only open up to other veterans and stuff because we know that we get each other without having to do a whole bunch of deep dive explanations that sometimes other people can't understand, right? Ronnie and I go back over 32 years. And there are things that people will never understand that we went through. Like there are just things that people will never understand, right? Mm-hmm. But again, when we talk about fetishes, people have a lot of different fetishes. You know, there are people who only like men in uniform.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Or there are people who only like athletes. And so when their athletic career is over, so is their relationship with that person.
Mm-hmm. There are women that only like tall men.
Right. There are women that only like tall men. And there are men that only like the black women that meet their fantasy of what a black woman is, right? When you think back to history, right? So Thomas Jefferson never told people that he loved his little black maid, right? But he had 6 kids with his little black maid.
Does that mean he loved her, or does that mean he took advantage of the position?
No. He loved the fetish and the idea of her, probably. You know what I'm saying? He loved her shape and stuff like that. And you got to think about this. If our shape was so bad, why are there a million white women out here trying to get collagen in their lips and damn silicone in their ass and putting breast implants in? If there was a problem with our color, why are there women running around trying to get in tanning beds all the time?
I have a question, y'all. And I'm just asking this for, like, you know, just devil's advocate. Do you think it was that they just loved our shape back then, or was it the forbidden fruit? Was it
ain't that the same thing though?
No?
I don't know.
No, it is. Because they loved it, but because amongst themselves it was forbidden.
So that's what I'm saying. Did they love it because we were just that gorgeous to them, or was it simply that it was the forbidden fruit and it was risque and it was because in my mind those are different layers. They can overlap, but they're still different.
Yeah, well, A, they overlap, but B, they wouldn't be trying to achieve those same things if they didn't love it.
Achieve what? No, so I'm not talking about the women trying to look like us. I was referencing. What's the look for,
No. Go ahead. No. Finish your thought before I make a judgment.
Why am I getting all these daggers tonight?
I'm just finish your thought before I make judgment.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, when she mentioned Thomas Jefferson, I'm just again playing devil's advocate. Was it that because she said he had 6 or 7 kids with his maid? Was it that she was just so gorgeous to him he just could not keep his hands off of her? Could have been. Was it that power dynamic? I'm gonna take advantage of the power dynamic because I can. Was it forbidden fruit? So it made it even more tantalizing, and I just gotta have it because I'm not
all of the above.
Okay. So
that's what I'm saying. Because for them, it's all of that. It's
so I'm not a man, so that's why I'm asking. Yeah.
Trust me, it's all of that, and that's why those things happen like that. Because, I mean, he had a wife,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So if it was just he wanted some ass, he had a wife, and back then she couldn't say no. Oh, I got a headache. That didn't exist back then.
But the maid wasn't the wife, right? So that's why I said the forbidden fruit aspect.
That's what I'm saying. It was all it was the power dynamic. It was, oh my God, she got a fat ass. My wife ain't got no ass. What the fuck?
Right.
And then it was also, that's that forbidden fruit, because you're not supposed to do that. You're an upstanding person, and you're not supposed to do that. But behind closed doors, we all do it.
Gypsy, before you jump back in, I'm gonna catch up on these comments real quick. Ronnie said, I understand the separation of being pro-Black, but also remember that the military has given a lot of Black people a leg up. I appreciate the opportunity to this day. Love that. I went to college partially on a military dime and became an engineer and was able to give my daughter a leg up in life. I absolutely love that part, Ronnie. Yes, right. Generational. So I appreciate the opportunity for a leg up in life and able to start passing along. You hit it, generational wealth. Yeah. Yep. At one time, I love Marines. I fetish them.
Me too, girl. Me too.
I'm good on that. I ain't never got to be with another one.
But they crazy.
Ronnie said, sorry for the spelling. I'm an engineer. I love numbers, but I'm bad at English. It's all good, baby. We understood. We was with you, Ronnie. We was with you. Well, I can only speak from my experience today. I get hit on by white men way more than Black men.
Really?
Even to the fact that a lot of white men have took me under their wings and taught me how to trade futures and options and other wealth building information. And Nadina said it wasn't forbidden. He owned her as he was legally able to take anything he wanted. So that's not what I meant by the forbidden. What I meant by the forbidden aspect is
society.
We'll say it was taboo.
Less than, we were not supposed to be as desirable.
Right.
Taboo, exactly.
That's true. It was taboo.
We were less than, we were not supposed to be as desirable as the white.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. Forbidden fruit.
But yet, and still, they would parade our women around the country butt naked in cages to show them off, and people would show up. They would pay to show up.
All of that too.
Get the fuck out of here.
But you know what's so funny? It's funny that you say that. Yeah, they would show up to see us, right? And then they would try to emulate us, but with white skin.
Yeah.
And that's why they had their dresses with all that bullshit back there, make it look like they had ass and all that bullshit.
Right, because they would get corsets and all kinds of stuff. But see, that's the thing is, yeah, there are certain aspects we like, but you're too dark.
Like I said, they love our culture, just not our struggle.
Exactly. And so the fact is trying to take the best parts of us, what they deemed as the best parts of us, but put them in light white skin, porcelain skin.
But
And
that's for them.
So to me, that's where my major issue comes in, is that part of the fetishes. That part of the fetishes is not okay. If you won't take me home to meet your family, or if I meet your family, they say you the only black person we like.
We out.
That's a problem. If that's the only black person you like is me, and only because I'm different from the black people you listen, there are a lot of white people. Let me just tell you this. There's a lot of white people that I have met that say they liked Obama because he was different. He wasn't a typical black man. What the fuck is a typical black man?
He wasn't.
Are we supposed to be uneducated? Are we supposed to be just war driven and violence driven men?
No. We supposed to be some horny ass weed smokers that don't do nothing but we smoke weed and fuck all day.
Gangsta. But that's just like people that think that every black woman is not. She's either not being her true self if she's not acting like it, or she's being fake or phony if we not around here popping our necks, snapping our tongues, and just being alley cats. Like, that is not how black women usually carry themselves. That's bullshit. But that's the character that people have, caricature that people have in their minds of us.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that, Ronnie. I need you to explain that.
The white man attraction to the black woman. So if I'm right, Ronnie, you're responding to what me and Sean were talking about. Okay, you said the reason I said that is on the low, like I said before, they teach me a lot of wealth building things. Okay.
Okay. So I see. No. I see what she's saying. It do be that. I can see what she's saying about the power dynamic as far as them feeling like they have a certain power to come in and be like, yeah, basically.
I got you.
Like I could teach her something she don't know, and she gonna love me for that, and I can see that. But at the same time, there are black men that can do the same thing.
I'm with you.
Oh, hold on, wait. You want to talk futures? You want to talk stock? I mean, dividends.
You forgot now. This is our corporate thug.
Investments. What you want to talk about?
They would choose power over anything. Yes,
that is true. That's their thing. That is their thing, and that's their whole thing. That's been their whole thing through. Okay, I don't want to go off on a diatribe.
Y'all go off on the diatribe and take up a few minutes of time. I gotta run downstairs and bring my dog inside before she get rained on.
I'm just saying that's their whole thing. That's been their whole thing throughout history. That's what when they built their great Roman Empire. That was their whole thing. The power of it. I mean, England comes from that, because England used to be Britannia, which got conquered by the Roman Empire, and then somehow they became the successors of that.
But I don't understand this, Sean. Like, how do you think that that's okay to come and conquer something that somebody else fucking lives at and say you fucking found it? You ain't find a damn thing that somebody already living in. How you find my goddamn house? You ain't find my house. I live here.
The victors of history are the ones that write it. Bottom line, if I come in your house and I take your shit, I'm the one that can say, yeah, this is my shit. You can't say shit.
Okay. You know what? Until you said that, I didn't get it. Because you know what? That is the truth. And the thing is that the only Black history that Black people know is the Black history that is passed down from generation to generation. Because I remember when I was in school, they didn't teach Black history. They taught American history, quote unquote, which did not include the slave trade and all these other things that were actually done, right? And so when you kind of look back on it, they've always been rewriting history. The only part of the true history that we knew was the part we told the next generation.
I feel you.
That's terrible.
And that's because that's what the world is and what we made it. And, you know, I mean, that's the thing, because if you actually look into your history, you will realize and find out that there's a lot of shit out there that you don't know about. Now, one thing that became popular most recently has been, you know, the Black Wall Street.
Right. When they burned down Tulsa, you mean?
Exactly. Because
but you know, they don't talk about that.
Exactly.
They don't talk about how they burned down Tulsa, and they don't talk about how the fact that we were brilliant people.
So that's the thing, and that's why we always gotta talk about that type of shit. Because if we work together, and that's the thing, that's why they don't talk about it, because they always want to put us against each other. That's why you've never heard white on white crime.
Hold on,
white people kill white people. White people kill white people every fucking day, but you don't hear about white on white crime.
But you know what? Because let me tell you something. The other thing is that they've been doing that back in the day, because me and Jay would not be friends. Cause see, she was light skinned and she probably would be a house nigga. She'd have been in a house telling on me.
Yep, she'd have been in the house, and
she'd have been in the house, and she'd have been telling that bitch be talking shit. Mm-hmm. What?
I don't walk back in it. Did y'all read these last few comments?
Now go ahead.
Ronnie said they will choose power over anything.
They will.
So if they like Black women or any other woman but white, they will choose power.
Yep.
And low key will make sure you're okay.
Well, yeah, that's true, because you know what? One thing I can say about Thomas Jefferson. Now, we didn't find out that he had all these fucking Black kids and descendants until the 90s, right? But he took care of their ass.
Yeah, he did right here into his will or some shit. That left.
Yeah, he low-key took care of their ass. But the fact that we didn't know, and it wasn't until the 90s when they had DNA tests and stuff that they found out, oh shit, yeah, these are his fucking kids and grandkids.
Yeah, it's because of those DNA tests and stuff.
But you know what? Hold on now. Let me tell you something. You know, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
We know.
Ain't nothing, that 23andMe, you know, them motherfuckers went out of business this last year.
Listen, I ain't never fuck with them.
I ain't never fuck with them either. I'm just trying to tell you, that was a way for them to catalog motherfuckers. They was looking for certain people. Yes, that was a way for them to catalog people. Mm-hmm. People don't understand that. Because guess what? You know what else they found doing 23andMe is they found that fucking California rapist murderer dude. They found a whole bunch of people because they happen to be related descendants. Because what they did is they did DNA tests on all this old ass fucking evidence that they had collected, and then they found out who was related to who and shit like that. And that's how they found that damn dude. That dude was 76 fucking years old when they found out he had been the California serial killer in the 70s.
I guess what do you think it was? Just the consent? Because they got enough of our DNA from being in the hospital, having blood work. Any woman that gets pregnant has blood work done typically on a regular basis.
They don't do DNA though.
But
That's
what I'm saying is they have the blood work. They have the access.
That's a different type of
analysis. Let me break it down how it works. When you run your shit and they have some shit on file that they can't match it to,
right?
And they say, "Oh, this is a familiar match."
That's what I'm asking you. Do you think that was a way for them to do it with more consent? Because they had the stuff already for many of us.
Not really.
Not really.
Had it. That was different.
That's why I said. That's why I keep going back to consent.
And they actually, and see, the hospital, after they run whatever test that they were supposed to run, they destroy your sample.
I don't think they do.
No, they destroy your sample. The thing is that
they don't make that shit on file. If you black,
I think the 23andMe was different.
If you black, they keep your shit on file. Trust me, because they trying to find another forever gene, and they only found it in the black people, so they looking for it. So they don't destroy your shit if you black. Trust.
You know why they looking for us? Because we're the chosen one.
Because they trying to figure out how to extend their shit.
Ronnie said a lot of military guys got caught up in 23andMe with illegitimate children. Damn. But the reason I'm saying I don't believe they discard it is because I've seen it too many times as a doula where women want to keep their placenta. And all of a sudden, last minute, there's a reason why they can't take it home.
Their placenta.
Yes, bitch. I said they want to keep their placenta. Yes.
What the fuck you gonna do with it?
They gonna eat it or some shit like that.
Like some women like to bury it with a tree, to represent life.
It's very nutritional.
Yeah, some women like to dry it out and make it into
capsules. I don't eat fucking liver. You think I'm gonna eat a motherfucking placenta?
You might not, but plenty of women do. Some women like to add it into their smoothies for them and their baby.
I'm not trying to be. Hold on, wait. I'm not trying to be ignorant or nothing, but you can eat a dick, but not a placenta.
I don't eat a dick. I might suck a dick, but I don't eat one.
You know what? I can't with y'all.
I mean, how the fuck would you even cook that shit?
You don't eat it raw.
Gravy on it or what?
You eat it raw.
Put that bitch over rice.
No,
that shit.
Sometimes they let it dry out.
Yeah, and you blend it up into something.
And you grind it up into powder and put it in capsules to take a supplement every day. Some people just chop it and eat it fresh. Some people chop it up or grind it up and put it in their smoothies to drink it and get that nutrient as they're breastfeeding. Some people, like I said, bury it to plant it with a tree to represent the life of the baby.
Ronnie, stop condoning that motherfucking shit.
And while you got your nose tooted up, a lot of black women do it. A lot of women of color do it. A lot of indigenous people do it. So, but at the end of the day, like I said,
Ronnie, let me find out after 32 years, I found out you motherfucking eating placenta.
And what you gonna do if she dead with your judgmental ass? Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people do. They'll dry it out and grind it up and make it into a powder and then mix it into like a cream, just to fucking help the skin. All that shit.
Eat it, Gypsy. What you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? Yeah.
Oh, Ronnie, I look at you different now, girl.
Oh my Lord. Girl, you
placenta.
They wanted in their makeup, yeah.
You better get down with the times.
Listen, that ain't really much different than the old wives' tale. A lot of our elders grew up talking about get the baby pee and rub it on your face if you got acne.
Oh nah, my fault. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Say what?
Oh,
nothing. I said I ain't gonna say nothing.
Say it, sir. We already knee deep in this conversation when you talking about sucking a dick and eating a placenta. So I feel like
I'm just saying that you need that protein on your face. Let me put it that way. You need that.
Okay.
You need that protein on your face.
So what? It's a mask.
You know what I'm saying? You get that natural man protein on your face. That helps with that acne.
What if he don't have no damn man protein? That's why he might not have no kid. Oh, let me see.
There's something wrong with him then. Okay.
Jesus.
That part.
My Lord. Yup.
Matching red cups.
That's what I knew it was something I was forgetting today. I forgot my red cup, but I had my red drink. I got my watermelon juice, y'all.
Watermelon juice, it got alcohol in it.
Well, I got a little bit of that peppermint vodka. Just a little bit.
That part.
Just a little bit.
Well,
I worked hard today, y'all. I revamped my entire business infrastructure on the back end. So
what?
I feel like I deserve. Hey, I felt like I
deserve. What you drinking, baby?
It's party time.
Who, me?
Oh, it's party
now I'm asking what
time.
What you drinking,
Sean?
What am I drinking? Moonshine.
Y'all know Gipsy don't drink no goddamn brown, but Gipsy brown like around today.
We know you the
I'm drinking sidecars today, and they mean whiskey.
We know she been drinking, but she start calling herself Gipsy.
I know she on one.
She been on one all night.
All night.
I don't know. Between her faces, mean mugging me, and you shooting daggers at me tonight, I feel bloody.
Yeah, I wasn't shooting daggers. I was trying to get.
Boo.
I was trying to get in where I could fit in because. Yeah.
So can I tell y'all something?
See, she still go. I'm trying to talk and she's still going. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all both is like, nah, that nigga ain't saying shit today. But go ahead, Gibson.
Because you and your fetishes, boo. You and your motherfucking fetish. Let me tell you. I didn't have a fetish, but I did have a I guess you could call it a prejudice against white men. But when I was first in the Navy, I did have a white boyfriend, but I just didn't like the looks that I got and shit. And so that shit was like a turn off to me. Cause like, you know, you would get them grits and them mean mugs and shit. That shit's a turn off. So while you talking fetishes, let's talk about the damn turn off, the mean mugs that make you not follow what it is. Like, for example, if you may have been feeling somebody, but because you got them mean mugs and shit, that shit was like,
that come with the territory though, don't it?
Right.
No, not really, because like for real though, you don't really expect all them mean mugs and shit. Not only do you get the mean mugs from the black people, but you get the mean mugs from the white people too. You get mean mugs, and so
I don't be submissive about it, but isn't that something that we kind of expect? Because we know there are some people that are still assholes out there. So isn't that something that even though it's probably better than it was 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, etc. ago,
really.
Like
not really.
there's still people.
Not really. I think a lot of us are in La La Land where we think that our love can conquer all.
I mean, for some people it did. They've been together 30, 40 years, conquering all. Ronnie, did y'all know she was a pool shark, for example? I will say no more. Ronnie said she's telling all the business.
So, okay, so I'm going to explain this. You know, military folks get paid on the 1st and the 15th.
They usually taking all their money, huh?
Yep, on the 1st and the 15th. What would happen is we would go to the pool hall, and then it'd be like, I don't know how to play. Could you show me? And then they would show me, and then it would be like, let put a little money on the table. I don't know. I'm just learning. And then they would put money on the table, and then it'd be like, take their money, and they'd be like, okay, we feel go now.
She been playing like Chicago Fetish after that.
Oh yes, Ronnie was security because there was a time we was having to threaten folks with pool cues, but we won't talk about it.
The
Well,
gangster
all right
life.
then.
Wait, AJ, we had to puffy them.
Hold up, y'all baby oiled them down and raped them?
Too soon.
Yeah. Okay. You know what that made me think about though, for real? Y'all remember that movie was it Omar Epps and
Oh shit! What was that movie
Nia
called?
Long?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Omar Epps and Nia Long. Was it In Too Deep or something like that? And
Yep.
LL J and the dude thought somebody was stepping to his girl and he beat him down and then got him with the pool sticks.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. Yep, it was In Too Deep.
Yeah,
sure
that made
was.
me think of that scene in that movie.
But hey,
I have totally blocked that from my mind.
Come back next week, Ronnie. Come back next week.
I love my Ronnie. Ronnie and I, like I said, we go way back. Just like me and Sean. Like I met Ronnie like shortly after I met Sean, because I met Sean, I was stationed in Philly, and then I went to California. I was stationed in California, and I met Ronnie when I first got to the boat. And yeah, so there's that part.
Well, as we start to wind today's conversation down, I feel like we started off and I gave a disclaimer, and I feel like it was right on point. Listen, be ready to clutch your pearls, because y'all have said some things that my little sensitive ears just was not ready to
Your
take.
sensitive ears. The fuck you said.
That's why I started laughing. I'm like, come on, man. You gonna try to feed us that bullshit? Okay. All right, I'm gonna roll with you. What you got?
Yes, we did. Listen, we did used to be roommates, and she is my son's godmother. And guess what? She's a great godmother. Like she had Tay down there for a summer, and it's like probably like 10 years later, he still talks about that summer that he was down there.
I mean, he had a good
He
time.
talks about that summer that he spent with his godmother and his namesake, because he has a god sister named Abante. And so they're very close. And I would just let me tell you something. So, full disclaimer, I've already gotten one of my Christmas gifts one of my birthday gifts for my double nickels. I came home Saturday night, y'all. I was driving. So Tay has a second car because he also has a electric car, but he has a second car that's a gas car. So I was driving his gas car, and I came home because my truck had been giving me problems and shit. So I was leaving my truck parked, right? And I came home, and there was this fucking truck blocking my fucking driveway. The fuck is that? And it had all these balloons and shit on it. Like, if y'all are my Facebook friends, you will see that you need to go to my page, because he has tagged me in this video, and I've added it to my page. So you can go to my page and you can see it if you're my Facebook friend. My son, let me tell you, he has really been working hard on his credit and everything like that. He bought me a new truck, y'all.
Word.
For my birthday.
That's what I'm talking about.
I had told him that I wanted an electric car, but I did not want, that electric car. I wanted an electric car though, right? And so I guess
the Rivian?
Well, no. The thing is, I'm a Honda girl.
Okay.
This motherfucker did his research. And when I tell you, y'all, he bought me a Honda Prologue.
Oh, I don't see it.
And then, okay, so my son actually has a Tesla. and he has like a charger built into the. He then got a charger installed in the house and all that stuff. Do you know he went and also bought an adapter so that I could use the same charger at the house? But when I tell you, I was in motherfucking tears. I was in tears. My baby bought me an electric car, and he bought me a Honda because you know I'm a Honda girl. He bought me a Honda, and ooh, I'm getting emotional.
Hercules.
But it was y'all. I was driving his second car the other day. I was driving it, and when I came home, I saw that car blocking my driveway. I left his car in the middle of the street. And I was like, what is this? And it had all these balloons tied to it. And it was like, happy birthday. And my baby signed for me a car. And he said he is going to pay the note.
That's some good shit.
You are so worthy of that, my dog.
Yeah, that's some good shit.
But I was just like, wow. You know, wow. But see, again, those are the things that are unexpected. And those are that's the other thing about what people want to talk about as far as fetishes. Those are the other things that are unexpected, because unexpectedly you could fall the other way with your fetish and be like not enamored because of your fetish, but in love with them for who they are. You know what I'm saying? And then what are you going to do?
Very good question.
And then what are you going to do? Because fetishes will get you in the door. But what are you going to do when fetishes allow you to put your guard down? Do y'all remember that scene from Coming to America? No,
Which
not
one?
Coming to America. Harlem Nights.
Which one?
When Sunshine put it on that dude, and he called his wife and said, "Tell your mom and put your mom on the phone."
No. He said, hey baby, put your mama on your phone. I ain't never coming home again.
Right.
And then he got caught up with Madam Heroin.
That part. But see, that's the thing. Fetishes will get you in the door. So you need to be careful. Because fetishes will get you in the door because you're enamored with this thought of whatever it is that you have this fetish after. But then what are you going to do when the fetish turns to genuine like or love?
And I feel you on that, but that at the same time, that's why you do have to actually get to know a person.
Yeah.
To know what's going on, and even if that fetish does take over,
right,
to a certain extent, you still have to know this person that when you get to a certain point, it's either A, I'm moving forward, or B, nah, I'm not going to do this because it's just a fetish.
Yeah,
so you do have to understand that.
The thing is that fetishes get you wrapped up. But like old dude, he didn't think he was gonna get wrapped up, and he called home and was like, "Shit, I ain't never coming home again." That's what I'm saying. What happens to you when fetishes lead you to want to experience it, and then you get caught up?
What happens when the fetish makes you want more?
What exactly?
Especially if they put it on you. If they put it
right.
on you.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing is people don't talk about that, because that is one of the things. Let me tell you. You remember how people lost their mind when that Cheerios commercial came out?
Which one?
The one with
the mixed couple.
The one with the mixed couple with the damn mixed kid, and it was like a black I think it was a black father and a white mother.
And it aired during the Super Bowl. Yo, people went crazy. They were pissed. They like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it.
Right. But see, that's the thing, is that maybe a fetish led him down that line, but then he actually got caught up and fell in love with her. You see what I'm saying? So,
I mean, isn't this part of the whole you can't make a hoe a housewife, you can't make a pimp a husband, because folks get caught up.
Really.
Yes, because folks get caught up fetishizing that woman or that man for something that they got from them in the sexual performance or something they loved about their body. And then once they decided, okay, I want more of this person, and got them to commit to a relationship or marriage or whatever, it wasn't really what they thought it was going to be, because they fell in love with a certain aspect of a person.
And so I agree with that on one level, but then on the other level, I know a lot of pimps and hoes that got married and been living happily ever after.
I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying that's one of the ways that can show up.
But wait, Sean. What about the part that I was talking about where it was the idea of, that's what it is. The idea of them and the idea they have based on either movies or videos or whatever, the idea of a situationship with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what attracted them. But then they actually got caught up and they realized, I really like this person that's attached to this fetish.
Happens all the time.
Now Jay, in all realness, you don't know how many times they've exercised that fetish before, but they didn't get caught up. They didn't get caught up before because she was typical.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I'm saying it happens all the time.
He was typical. Sean, you get what I'm saying when I say they were typical. They were what they expected, because that's what the movie portrayed. That's what the video portrayed. That's what they expected, right?
I think in those instances, though, when it goes deeper, it's not just the fetish that gets, or the initial thing. It's something about the intrinsic part of that person that they're connecting with. Is it the conversation? Is it something they prayed specifically for and they see it in that person? Is the way the person sees them? I mean, there's so many things I think that happens in that same experience with whatever fetish or whatever thing initially brought them into contact with one another.
And that's the thing, because a fetish could be anything. It could be the shoulders. It could just be the toes. It could just be the way her earlobes look. It could be. It's a fetish. It could be anything.
Yeah, a fetish is not just. So I think we're combining a few different things as we're having this conversation. In part, I think we're talking some things that are fetish, some things that are kinks. Hold on one second. Ronnie said, well, once reality kicks in, and I believe that a happy relationship is partially playing on the fetish without looking at reality. Reality is heavy and sucks. A healthy playtime fetish is good for relationships. Yeah. So there are kinks, there are fetishes, there are likes and dislikes, there are, the other word I can't think of, but we all have something that makes us look at a person and say, that's what I want. That initially catches our attention, because let's be real, the average person ain't walking down the street looking at somebody that they would consider to be ugly or unattractive and being like, oh, I just can't wait to take their ass home and get it. No, but there's something about that. Now there are some people that like an ugly person because they think nobody else wants
them. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying ugly. I'm just saying to you they're less attractive than what you would like. But to other people, that's their jam. And I don't take nothing away from that. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry. You went hard for that right there. You're right.
Because I know people that have like had a certain
what was that
outlook.
phrase? Less attractive than you would like. Is that what you said?
Because I know people that have had a certain outlook on what they normally are attracted to, but then they met somebody that was less attractive than what they considered, but found out that was their person.
So let me finish the statement because that's where I'm going. The
Shit.
average person, back to where I was, the average person is not walking.
Shit. He said less attractive than
I'm just
trying to get this out. The average person is not walking down the street, right? And looking at somebody that they themselves would look at and say ugly or unattractive and being like, I just want to get their ass in the bed right now. No. But what happens is that there is a character trait or personality trait or something. It could be the way that person smells. It could be the way that person dresses that gets them focused. Y'all know, okay, real talk, this happened. The way that my ex got me was his smell.
Oh shit!
It was like my soul recognized him. Like the first
Girl,
time
you better plug your fucking nose for you fuck around up in a ditch. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, like for real. It was deeper than pheromone, right? It was the first time I had ever experienced that in my life. It was like my soul recognized his smell.
That is definitely fair. That is the definition of pheromones.
But it was no. I'm not saying that that's not what happened. What I'm saying is it's deeper than that.
I know. I did. See, that's.
I understand what you're saying.
Nah,
but I'm also going spiritual. I'm also going spiritual.
And I feel you on that. And that's
because
great.
I couldn't finish my statement, but you kept
Nah. That's great that you made that connect. But I'm trying to tell you, if it was the smell, it's definitely pheromones.
I'm not those specific.
Okay.
But I've had other guys that I've loved their smell. That's
but
fine.
It didn't hit you. It didn't hit you the same.
Well, most of the people I've chosen to date, I've chosen because of the characteristics that I like and their scent. Their scent drew me in the
smell snob. You a smell snob.
Smell snob. But it was something very, very different about him, right? So that I'm using it as an example. Now, when I looked at him, I would have said he's attractive. He's not anybody I would have looked at and said he was unattractive at all. But he was somebody that initially I was like, he's not really my type. He's attractive. He's handsome to me, but he ain't really my type. But as we got to talking and getting to know each other and he hugged me one day, it literally felt like my soul recognized him. And that's what got me to talk to him and be like, there's something in this, right? So that's why I was using the example of ugly or unattractive or not your usual type. Like there's typically something along with that fetish or that kink that's going to make you say, shut the hell up, Gypsy. That's going to make you say, I want to get with this person or go deeper than this initial.
That Sean was doing the same fucking nod. You didn't tell him shut the fuck up.
Nah, because you was being snobbish with it with your ass. I see you over there.
Sean was pulling the beard and doing nod. He was like,
all I was going to say is, oh, he hugged you and you felt that print. That's what that was.
Y'all so trifling. No. But the spiritual part of it was, so for those of you that believe in it, alternate lives, parallel lives, past lives, whatever, that's why I said it was like my soul recognized him. And eventually that was a conversation that we had. Like we both felt like there was something that had literally just pushed us to the point where our paths had no choice but to cross and for us to get to that moment together. I think somebody like that. Take something simple, huh?
I met somebody.
She said she met somebody like that. That's what she said.
I think a lot of people take the kink and the fetish thing and they try to make it a lifetime thing when it should have just been a moment thing or a season thing.
Hold on. So time out.
It should have been a night thing.
Time out.
My bad.
So since we talking about fetishes, what are y'all fetishes? I'll tell you mine. Mine
None of
is
your
role
damn
play.
business. Yeah, but
Oh,
yours is
okay.
what?
Yours
Mine
is
is
what?
mine is role play. That's my fetish. I love
Oh,
role
that is
play.
not what I thought you
Oh,
said.
shit.
Okay.
That ain't what I thought.
Hold on, wait. Now, what did you think I said? I need to know that right now.
You don't want me to say that out loud.
Now, I need you to say it. My soul requires you to tell me.
I for real thought you said you love it when somebody just rubbed the dick. That's why I was like, wait, what?
Shit, I'm easy, huh? You ain't gotta take me to dinner. I'm easy. Just rub the dick.
I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, shit. Thank you. I needed that laugh. I haven't had a good laugh like that in a while.
I will say this. I love a strong man that can pick me up. You gotta be strong to ride this ride. Love a man. And I ain't even talking about
that spiritual dick, Ronnie. I'm trying to understand.
I know. I saw that. I'm like, damn, spiritual dick. Okay. All right.
I'm trying to understand what's a spiritual dick.
Wait a minute. Ronnie said push and pull is good for relationships. For example, I might like you today, but tomorrow you get on my nerves. That's all of us. So in essence, the push pull can be a fetish. Yeah, some people are addicted to the chaos, right? Oh, the smell, man. Let me tell you.
And that's why fellas always smell good. Always smell good.
Wait a minute, goddamn it. So she talks about him today. He must have had good dick. Oops, sorry for that Navy coming out. Listen. That's all I'm gonna say. Spiritual. That being said, yeah, you gotta be strong to ride this ride. I love it. That's such a turn on to me.
You gotta be this tired to ride this motherfucker. Oh, let me stop.
See, I don't think height matters if a nigga can fold you up.
Hey, I don't know.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying.
Don't play me with a good time. Oh, let me stop.
If a nigga can fold you up, you see there talking all that shit like, oh, he gotta be 6'2", he gotta be 6'3".
A little bit, Sean. He can fold you up, can't he?
I'm just saying, and when he folds you up, when he got them fucking knees pinned behind your ears, and you like, oh shit. I'm just saying.
But I will add to that, Ronnie. Yes, spiritual dick. Listen, if you ain't never had it, I
need to understand what that is. Shit,
spiritual dick. Listen,
that's when you were the shaman.
Yeah, like your souls talking to each other.
Shit. They got my feet moving in a different way under the table. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the fuck going on?
Like it's different when you just. So remember we talked about a few weeks back on a different episode. If a man can get a woman so comfortable in her body and so relaxed that the tears.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's still something different, but that's kind of on that same level. Like your soul has relaxed and anchored down in your body. Mm-hmm. The full body pleasures coming through. Like, but that spiritual connection on top of the chemistry and the physical agreement that your bodies have together, like they just fit and everything just works. It magnifies it. Magnifies it.
I think they call that kismet.
Kismet.
I don't know, show. Oh, I mean, damn. Was that my outside voice?
That was your outside voice, girl. Oh Lord.
What the fuck is kismet? You need to show me that.
And I will say, having had that experience with him for so long, it changed everything afterwards. Like we didn't work, and it was okay that we didn't work. Like we ended peacefully. You know, it was probably the most peaceful ending I've ever had. Like we didn't have to argue and fuss and fight because we just understood like we can't give each other what we need, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? We had our time, we loved, and the love is still true. But let's move forward and allow us to be with the people that we truly need in this season of our lives, right? But that changed everything moving forward for me.
But now my thing with that is, can we as people be adult enough that when we move forward, that we don't have to just cut each other out of our lives?
No, exactly.
Something you said helped me, Sean. So like me, I've always been a person. I'm done. If I'm done, I'm done. Let's move it on. We ain't all that talking, all that other stuff. But something you said a while back when we were talking, and like the three of us were debriefing, really kind of hit home for me. And that's what he had always said to me. And he always was that he was like, I always got your back. It don't matter. And he's always been true to that, right? So I started looking at that differently. And I was like, okay, I can rock with that. I can see that. But only with him because of the difference in what the experience was. Whereas if it's somebody that I was just chilling with or just I still feel the same on that one. So but you really opened my eyes. I got to give you props on that.
That's all I'm saying, because it's a different, it's just somebody that, okay, y'all did a thing, y'all kicked it, it didn't work, okay. But when it's somebody that you truly have that connection with, although y'all didn't work out, you still want the best for each other, and you can still be friendly. Like, yo, we didn't work out, that wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
But evidently, this is what it is, because we still vibe, we still here for each other, and that's just what it is.
But ladies, let me tell y'all, I'm just saying, listen, if you ain't never had no spiritual dick, and that's not talking about a spiritual man, because we all spiritual, we all spirits and beings, right? But I'm saying if you have not had, I'm advocating for y'all. If you ain't had somebody that's just talking to your soul while y'all getting it in, y'all missing it.
Ashanti.
Ronnie said it depends. When I'm done, I'm done. But I have remained friends with a couple of exes. I think we should have been friends to begin with. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Exactly. That's my whole point, because at the end of the day, that's what y'all should have been. But y'all chose a different course, and that's fine, because y'all found out that, hey, we should have just been friends anyway, and let's leave it at that. That's it.
Well, I just live life with the belief
y'all
that
was
everybody's
friends
having
in the beginning. Now I have a question.
Okay,
y'all
wait.
Was friends
Wait. Both y'all were talking at the same time, so I ain't understand shit neither one of y'all said. Okay, so what did y'all just say?
I said, I just live life with the understanding that not everybody's meant for a lifetime. I think some relationships are meant to end. They were just for a season. A season, a reason, or a lifetime. That's why I look differently at marriage. I think that everybody that got divorced was not that their marriage failed or that they shouldn't have ever been together. I think oftentimes we have tried to force something to be forever when it was only meant for, yes, you to be married or to be in a relationship or to have that child or those children, but it was for that season. And then there's somebody else for the next season, or for you to be with yourself for the next season. Y'all ain't dragging me to hell.
Wait a minute now. I got a question. What if you was, well, you made a bad choice. You was supposed to be with the person that was, in your situationship, for lack of a better word. They was in your situationship. Oh, fuck. What the fuck? Hold on. I'm sorry. Shit. I can't cut it off. Okay. Damn, I lost my fucking train of thought. Okay. Yeah, you was in a situationship, but you probably should have been a little bit more, but because y'all was like, fucking around and shit, and both of y'all was kind of like, okay, well, we just gonna let it be what it be or whatever, right? And then when you look back on it, yeah, that was your soulmate or whatever. How you come back from that?
Okay, so I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. You had a situationship, that you didn't let turn into something, and y'all left each other alone, but it should have turned into something?
Nah, you didn't leave each other alone. Well, you left each other alone in that aspect, but you remained close.
So what's the question?
Well, how you come back from that if you remain close, but you just didn't, follow through like you supposed to. You put them on you.
What do you mean? How do you come back from it? You jump on the dick, you call him, you kiss him, you hug him, you get in a relationship. Shit, you make something out of it. What? What's the?
And there you have it. Jay approved. Jay approved. You jump on the dick.
You friend zone them. So what do you do?
Take their ass off the fucking friend zone.
Jay approved. You jump on the dick.
Listen, if you feeling them and they feeling you, get out the damn friend zone. What the hell is you talking about right now?
I hate y'all. What?
No, you don't.
Here.
Whatever. Because you already know what I'm going to say, and I know who the hell you talking about. And I done said it to both of y'all asses. So what? Nigga. That being said, yes, Jay approves. Jump on the dick. Go find your girl. Go get your man. Like, if you realize you look back, this is what I say. If you look back and you feel like you just missed an opportunity to truly be with somebody you genuinely desire and love, or had an opportunity to have something great with, and you recognize that they probably have some of the same regret that you have, or some of the same desire along this, that's the opportunity to bring it back. Like, it might not have been meant for that original season. You might not have been who you needed to be. This is why I say some marriages or relationships are only meant to last the season. That is for that version of who you are and the version of who they are. And as you heal and move forward, there's somebody else that is suited for your next season, and somebody else for them. Sometimes it wasn't meant in this season because you weren't where you needed to be to sustain it. So you got to circle back to it. So go get your man or go get your woman. Like, girl, what the hell is you talking about right now?
So if I'm not understanding you correctly,
you know what?
Sounds like you're saying, hold up.
I'm finna go.
Bring it back, come rewind.
Yes, Sean. Yes. You hearing what I'm saying? She over here playing crazy as hell. You hear what I'm saying, Sean?
All right.
Ronnie said, I believe in life there are no bad choices. What appears as bad is a lesson. Yeah. I think everything, it wasn't that you failed, it was wisdom. You gained what you needed to get to move on to the next and do better. Now, does that mean sometimes we don't make dumbass choices? Sometimes we do just make dumbass choices. But in all of that, there's still a lesson.
And a lesson. It's a stupidity.
She said, who you talking about, Sean?
Huh? Wait, what?
I don't know.
She
said, who you talking about, Niecy? I'll call you later. So you in trouble, girl. Ooh, she finna get you.
I'm sleeping.
You ain't damn sleepy. You gonna spill them beans.
That killed me. Like, tell him I'm not here. Like, yo, you right? Like, what the fuck you talking about? I'm sleeping. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's wild.
No, her ass ain't sleep. Sitting right here looking at us. I sleep. Tell him I ain't home. Y'all know how we used to do. Tell him I ain't here. I hear you in the background. Tell him I ain't here. Anywho, thank you all for being a part of our amazing, fantabulous community. Oh, we got to hold on. Sure said people have an issue with not understanding you cannot make someone be what you want them to be. Yep. And then Ronnie said, how are you, Sean? Okay. That was a strange question to ask at the end of the podcast instead of the beginning. But okay. I'm gonna roll with it.
Oh shit, I'm chicken.
You know what?
That's hard to do. I'm flabbergasted.
Your gabbers are flaccid. Is that what you're saying?
I'm gobsmacked. I mean, what else? I don't even know what else I can say.
I beg your fineness of pardon. Okay.
That shit was funny as fuck. Like, what? Okay. All right.
So with that, we're gonna bring this to an end, y'all. We're gonna bring it to an end.
Oh shit, it's 9 o'clock. What the fuck? We don't never be with y'all this long. Get the hell out of here. Bye.
We got to go because I'm getting sleepy. So we're gonna beg our finest parties and flabbergasters and wish y'all a beautiful evening. Thank you all for being here. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you can know when we go live. Like this video before you click out of it, and make sure that you grab that link and share. Because if you not sharing with your peoples, I don't think you really like them. That's all I'm saying.
That part.
With that, we love y'all. We'll
see you next week.
We'll
you
see
doing
y'all
a disservice to the community, people.
Ciao, ciao. Peace.